Welcome once again to the Thomas McCook Show. The last video, I was talking about David Phelps as my greatest singer of all times. I'm going to dedicate many different videos to analyze David Phelps' vocal performances. So the last time I talked about the ones I consider myself the best performances that he has ever made during his life, with or without the Gaither vocal band. In the next videos I'm going to be uploading about David Phelps. I want to talk about different categories that I wanted to refer because he's a very wide open singer. So you can see how David dominates even the lower notes and the highest ones, which are the hardest. In this time, I want to talk about the ones I consider the best solo performances that David Phelps has made during his artist life. So what I want to take in consideration here is actually how high he can go, but how he dominates every note in every vocal performance that he makes. So once again, I wanted to subscribe to my channel because I will keep uploading content like this, talking about not only David Phelps. I will dedicate many programs to David. Upcoming nextly, I want to talk about many other different areas, not only music, but movies and theater. Also, I'm gonna talk about my favorite artists, celebrities, and I just wanted to follow my channel, subscribe, and comment anytime that you want to talk about something specific. So let's start talking about my favorite David Phelps solo performances.
I'm back again, your wayward child. I was gone so long I thought that you'd forgotten me, but here I am. And
the number 5 in this list, I want to talk about How Great Thou Art, especially the one that David performed in The Legacy of Love, this big concert from David Phelps that I actually really loved. Of course, it's not going to be the only song that we're going to talk about this time, because there are a few others included. How Great Thou Art is one of those religious songs that will always remember you how powerful a voice can be. So the message inside this very song is very important in the way that, the performer needs to heat up the note on the way that people get convinced about it. David Phelps just make it. How Great Thou Art, the very end of the song is crazy. I took it into my personal account because he performed How Great Thou Art many times. He was even invited to private concerts, and it is amazing how David was always called to sing How Great Thou Art. And of course, as a Christian musical performer, he always referred to God as the giver of his gift. Not in vain, he is considered by many critics and many experts the best first tenor ever, mostly in the gospel music area. So How Great Thou Art for me is number 5. Just the way he dominates the note and the way he displays that in every scenario that he has been is worthy to be mentioned on this time.
when Christ shall come, we shout of acclamation and take me home. What joy will fill my heart. How great thou art. How great thou art. How great thou
As a number 4, let's go back to New York City Homecoming. I will probably dedicate a program to talk about the New York City Gator Homecoming, because there are a few parts, a few songs, not only performed by David Phelps and the Gator vocal band, but other people that I really like. There is probably a song I have always tried to hit up, and that's The End of the Beginning. I even talked in a conference before I made a conference, and I titled that The End of the Beginning. So it talks all about that the death of Jesus was not the end, but the beginning of life. So once more, Bill Gator thanks in David Phelps to hit it up with a song so powerful, like the end of the beginning. So David manages from beginning to end the song on the way that at the end of it, he just sets all the theater, all the Carnegie Hall up, because it was amazing. The performance demanded a great voice, a very deep experience. I believe that David practices Stanislavski, not in the acting but in the music, because he lives every time that he sings. He lives the lyrics. And the end of the beginning in the Carnegie Hall in the New York Homecoming, for me, is one of those solos that identify David Phelps' career. Never he performed. I have heard him many times, and he never performed the end of the beginnings in such a good way that he did in the Carnegie Hall. I just loved the way that he ends up when he just recalls that he rose from the dead, and that needed a point. Any other tenor would perform that, but that wouldn't be remembered as it is remembered by David Phelps. So that is why I placed that in number 4 of the solo performances by David Phelps. As a number 3 on a very recent powerful concert, and I have to say, first of all, if we wanted to talk about the top 5 David solo performances, we would have to take a lot. So he's incredible in many solo performances, but I just wanted to point these ones as are the ones more analyzed, more taken in account. Every time you see in YouTube or other media the most resonant notes from David, you would find this on the list. But then you will have to wait to see what my number 1 is, which is actually incredible. And it's not actually that high, but it's the way he just dominates the voice. So in the number 3, I want to talk about We Shall Behold Him.
We shall
We Shall Behold Him in a recent concert from David. It's amazing the way that he introduces us into the lyric, making us living, believing, and loving every note that he just made. We shall behold him at the end when he wants to show us that someday when we have Jesus in front of us, we shall behold him. So that's true for sure. That that he prints the message with his voice on the way that all the audience stands up, and is the standing ovation is the answer to the feeling of the people in live concert with David Phelps. We shall behold him when he holds the note. That's impressive, and how remarkable the powerful lyric is in David Phelps' note, that even getting older, He doesn't miss any point on dominating the voice. So we shall behold him, number 3, and it's worth it.
Our Savior and Lord, Savior and
As a number 2, I want to talk once again about No More Night. And I placed in the last video Oh Holy Night as my favorite song, so that is why I didn't include it in the best solo performances made by David Phelps. In this case, number 2 would be No More Night. No More Night, as I said before, is a song that every time when you talk about David Norris Phelps, you cannot avoid to talk about. David takes Oh Holy Night and actually smashes it. He just takes the song and, the way he waves all the notes, the way that he just hits up notes, and he shows us that there will be no more night. There will always be light for everybody of us. And what I love actually the most from this song is the ending part, the risen lamb. So what I just wanted to realize about David Phelps is that every time he tries to show us a point in a song, he wants us to live it. He wants us to experience the power of a really powerful lyric in the voice of someone really powerful. That's David Phelps.
and there will be no more night, no more pain, no more tears, never crying again. Praises to the great I am. We will live in the light of the risen Lamb.
Before knowing number 1, that I split it in 2, I wanted to watch a few honorable mentions on this time.
That you have Oh, cross that liftest up my head, I dare not ask to fly from thee. I lay in dust, life's glory dead. We will lean on heaven's
And as a number one, my friends, I want to talk about one of the most recent concerts from David Phelps. I want to talk about Ave Maria and then the Lord's Prayer.
Ave Maria, gratia plena.
Why I placed this in the first place? These are the type of songs and performances that show you what David Phelps is capable to do with his voice. You can see and you can feel an angel's choir singing around David Phelps. When he starts singing Ave Maria and then the Lord's Prayer, which I believe is one of the greatest songs ever. I remember Andrea Bocelli performing the Lord's Prayer with the Brooklyn Tabernacle Choir. The producer at the time was David Foster, and you can feel all that emotion. I just got a chicken skin every time that I listen to Andrea Bocelli's part. But when David performed the Lord's Prayer in this concert that he gave, I just lived the song. I just enjoyed every time I closed my eyes, and that ending part where he just says forever and ever, and he just makes places the note in the right place and rise up the note and hit up. You can feel all the emotion that song brings up. I place it in my number one of my favorite solo performances made by David Phelps. Most of all, because he shows once again that the truly authentic and real voice doesn't need any type of music. With the voice is pretty enough for you whenever you listen to a part, to a tune. With the voice is pretty enough to just believe that a music can lift you up. So that is why this part of the tune is one of my favorite. I will let you enjoy the full part, and I just wanted to remind you, I'm going to upload more material about David Phelps and many other musicians and singers. So I would like you to subscribe to my channel. Give us a comment. Which is your favorite one? What topic do you want we talk about? Any Gaither vocal band songs, or David Phelps, or any gospel series songs? We will be arms open to receive any kind of comment or any kind of suggestion. Thank you once more for coming to my channel to give you your comments, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.
Not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thou